how to make your foot ring look like this. This is Torres, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to alter your foot ring to make it look like how I just showed you. So one day when I was just kind of sitting on my bed, I was scrolling through Instagram and something caught my eye. It was somebody altering their foot ring, and when he did it, I've seen it before, but when he did it, it made it look really nice, and I really liked the way how he did it. So I think it was like the next day or whenever I was able to throw on my wheel again, I made a shape of a mug, and then I went to go try it, and I figured, oh, this is gonna be easy because the way he was doing it made it look easy. So I tried it and I failed at it. It didn't look bad, but I still failed because I accidentally cut too low and the foot ring, I think, came off. But I tried it again the next day, and I wanted to get this down, so I just kind of altered a little bit things, and this time this one came out pretty good. It came out really well, and I liked the way how it looked on my mugs and stuff, so I decided to keep it. And I found out that these 5 steps are gonna help you in order to make it easier when you're making it. So here are the 5 steps. The first step is you want to make the foot ring. The second step is make the inside of the foot ring deeper. The third step is make the foot ring soft. The fourth step is use a razor to cut the foot ring. And then the fifth step is cut until you have the right shape that you want. The shapes that you want, I should say. Okay, so the first step. So you want to make your foot ring. Your foot ring. Well, that's probably obvious, but I know a lot of people don't make foot rings. I'm sure you could do this, like hand build it on there, but to me, I don't think it would look as well. It won't look as smooth to the pot. So you want to make a foot ring, and then that's their starting point to this. So the second step is, when you have made your foot ring, usually if you make a foot ring, you go a little deep. You try not to go too deep because you don't want to go poke it through the bottom of the pot. So you try not to go too deep. But for this, you want to go pretty deep. You want to go pretty deep in it. So I recommend that when you're throwing the mug, the bowl, whatever it is that you're doing to alter this, you want to make the bottom a little bit thicker than normal. Doing this will allow you to give more cushion when you're making the inside of the foot ring deeper. Okay, so the third step is, so once you have the foot ring made and the inside a little deeper than normal, you want to make the foot ring soft. Well, how do you make the foot ring soft? And why do you want it to make it soft? Well, you want to make it soft because it will make it easier to cut when you're trying to cut the foot ring to alter it. So make it soft. And how you make it soft is, so I'll dip my sponge in some water and squeeze it out, and then place my sponge, my damp, wet sponge, on the foot ring and literally just smooth it out. It will not only smooth it out, but it'll make it soft at the same time. So use a wet, damp sponge to make the foot ring soft. And that's the only part that you need to make soft. So the fourth step is, you want to use a razor like this, or like any other kind of flat tool, to cut your foot ring. And when you're doing this, you want to, so you're gonna cut like one side, and then if you have you make 2 cuts on one side, and then you take out the little section that you cut, and you flip the wheel all the way around 180 degrees, so that where you cut is facing away from you, and you make another cut on the opposite side, and you do that for the other 2 sides as well. So that's how you use to make the shapes. So the fifth step is, so you want to cut however many shapes you want until you get it how you like it. So what I do is I usually like 3 to 4, like this one right here. This one has 4, but sometimes I like to do 3, and that the 3 sometimes turns out better than the 4 one, but sometimes the 4 one turns better out than the 3 one. You just kind of got to play around with it, see which one you like better. Sometimes you can do 2, maybe 5, who knows, just kind of play around with it. So some things that you should know when you're making this. So I would recommend that when you're trimming, that the bottom is already kind of soft. It's softer than probably normal than what you trim, because this will make it a lot easier to make the inside deeper, and you won't have to use as much, keep on applying as much like water, I guess, or with your sponge. You don't have to use your sponge as much to make the bottom of the foot ring soft. And another thing is, so you want to be careful that you're not going to cut all the way through the bottom where the bottom is going to show. So make sure to leave, when you're making the inside of your foot ring, make sure to leave a little bit of a tiny bit of a cushion. I know I said to make it deep, but you still don't want to go all the way through. So leave a little bit of a cushion, because if you're going to be cutting underneath where the foot ring's at, where you make your marks.